going on, traders? This is Jack with the Trading Tribe, and today we are back at it with another really valuable video, hopefully for you traders out there. I've been meaning to make this one actually for quite a while now, but I wanted to wait till there was a really good example. And today there actually is an example of what I want to kind of cover, and it's really going to be how to manage a trade as it's actually working. Kind of how I do it, or some of the methods I use to actually do it. And then I'm actually in a trade as we speak, so we can kind of review how I'm actually doing it on this trade specifically. And if you notice, right after hours, the natural gas market is continuing to move higher. So we've actually had quite a bullish week here with natural gas kind of closing out the month of September. And we'll notice, right, we started kind of consolidating after hours and actually ended up kind of continuing this uptrend. And that's actually where I took the trade. And then now we can see, right, that the trade has moved pretty extended, right? So as this uptrend has actually begun to work, we'll notice that we are pretty extended here off of really all of my indicators. So we're super far off of the VWAP and the SMA, as well as even the EMA. And in this case, right, I wanted to kind of show how I actually manage a trade like this. So in this case, right, this obviously is a trade that is working in my favor. If we open up our active trader pane, we can see I'm up a pretty good amount here. So I'm up 24 ticks currently based on that bid price. So 24 ticks times your contract amount really gives that profit margin. With this being after hours, I only swung with one contract. And that makes this position up about 240 of open P&L as we speak. And in this trade example, right, I'm actually taking the trade aiming for a higher high, right? So for an uptrend to be an uptrend, right, we typically want that market structure to be making higher highs and higher lows long term. So if we move out to even just the 5-day chart, this can kind of show you the uptrend I was talking about for natural gas. So we can see these last few days, right, gas has really just been grinding higher and higher. My whole idea here taking this trade is for gas to eventually move higher again, right? So that profit seeking area will kind of start if we do go and test those new highs. And if we drop back down to the daily time frame and actually dig into the 1-minute chart, now we'll kind of look at how I actually go about managing trades. And I think this is super, super important. This is something that a lot of traders mess up at, especially at the very beginning, right? Where they'll get in a trade, the trade will go 90% of what they wanted it to do, and they'll end up losing on the trade, right? It'll turn around and go all the way back down to their stop loss. In my instance, as a day trader, I don't do that. So I will essentially manage my trade, right? In this case, right, I got in before the actual move higher. And as this begins to work, especially as it gets way closer to that profit target, we can see, right, the profit margins for the trade entirely are about 35 ticks here, and we're already at 29 ticks. So this has gone 80, 90% of the way. And we'll notice, right, my stop loss is way above, right, where my entry and my stop was initially. And this is a really helpful way to actually manage your trade because I'm basically making it to where in order to get me out of this trade, we essentially have to turn around in the market, right? So not only would we have to break under this EMA indicator, which we have not for multiple hours, as we can see, but we'd also have to go a little bit lower than that even. And we haven't done that right in this entire move. So not only am I locking in profits, but I'm also protecting those gains, right? And this is a really, really important tip, at least for my style of trading. If you go and watch a lot of the other videos on my channel, this will start to make a lot more sense. But as a breakout and a trend trader and someone that's really just directionally focused, once that direction begins to work, I like to make sure that I'm going to get paid on a given trade. So in this example, right, as this moves higher and higher, right, I will continue to drag that stop loss under this moving average. And you can still have some slippage. So here, right, my stop loss is right around 21 ticks, which equates to about $200 of profit. But right, if the market did turn around sharply, it could get me out for $200 instead of 210, for example. So this isn't an exact area because my stop loss is a market order, but this just makes it in the case if I go to bed tonight, right, and this trade turns around and begins a downtrend and reverses, right, I'm not losing the trade, right? We're locking in the gains that we're expecting from a given trade. And as this moves higher, right, we can essentially just trail this stop loss. And so you'll hear this as a trailing stop loss online, but I wanted to make sure to have a video on the channel kind of showing how we can actually do this in the markets and how I'm actually doing it on a given trade. So if this video did add value and help out a little bit for your trading, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. We have a ton more content like this coming. So if you do like these hands-on trade recaps and trade tips, feel free to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Thanks, everybody.